So today we are making a video on DragonOS. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So it's going to take like a 2 to 3 minutes to boot up to the desktop layout. Usually all the Linux distros will consume that much of time in my laptop. But I'm going to mention the time that how much for time it consumed. So here it is almost booting. So I'm going to keep 98% of the video raw, and the booting process I'm going to trim it if there is no voiceover for that. So I'm going to keep the video as raw as possible so you can see all the changes and all those things properly. So I want to give you a good content for that. So, and there will be a misspeaking and like some things like this, like stuttering and all those things by me. So you need to just ignore that, all those things. So there will be some misspeaking and mistakes. So I hope you ignore those things, or do let me know in the comment section if not. So it's taking a bit of time here, so I'm going to stop talking and let's wait and see how much of time it consumes. So here we have the desktop layout loaded. So it completely took like 5 minutes, and when I stopped talking it took like 2 minutes from there. So it's consuming a lot of time to boot. So let's quickly change the display resolution. Preference, so the mouse pointer is not visible for me, so I hope it isn't visible for you also. So let's change the monitor settings, maybe the pointer will work now. Yeah, as you can see the mouse pointer is properly working right now. So sometimes it will be like that in some of the Linux distros, so you need to ignore all those things. So let's check about LXQT. So here you get the LXQT desktop environment. The version is 0.17.0. I downloaded the DragonOS ISO file from the SourceForge. I'm going to show all those things. So before that, let's check the task manager or the QBS. So here it is. So the uptime is almost 3.48 minutes. CPU user 2.3, system 1.6%, and memory it's consuming almost 649 MB and cache 1748, buffer 3 MB. So I already mentioned that I'm using 8 GB of RAM. So here are all the process running in the beginning. So I didn't open any of the applications or anything like that, just the about LXQT application. So other than that we didn't see anything. So I'm going to keep the task manager or the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video, so you can see all the changes and all those things. So I'm going to open the Firefox web browser to show you how to download the ISO file. So it's not a famous Linux distro, but we didn't make any videos on this type of Linux distro in my channel. So I have pretty much covered almost every Linux distro because I made like 3000 videos of every type of Linux distro. So I covered pretty much everything. So there are some Linux distros which I didn't cover, so I am trying to make a lot of videos of every type of Linux distro so I can give you the best content. So let's first check the about Firefox. Let's see what version we get hit here. So the version you get is 127.0.2. So I need to type in about support to get the distro information and some browser information. About support. So I'm just going to scroll it like this. You just need to pause the video because I want to explain everything because it's going to make a video lengthy. Usually showing the basic features, my videos will be like a 20+ minutes, so that's the reason. So Mesa, so you should be finding some information, just pause the video and read everything on your own. And the window protocol, X11, desktop environment, LXQT, display 1920, So there are some information which is important for some users. If not, you just can skip that part. So let's type the Dragonfly OS in the search bar. So we can download the ISO file. So it was from the SourceForge. So let me type in SourceForge. So we need to type in DragonOS here. So here is the ISO file, which is DragonOS Focal. It's not a Dragonfly OS, it's a DragonOS. So here you get some of the information about the Linux distro. You can read everything from here, or you can just go to the SourceForge website and get all the information. So there is no official website for this, it's only available in the SourceForge. So you just need to go to SourceForge and type in DragonOS _ Focal, and you should be getting the files. So here is the latest ISO file, which is the 2024 June ISO file. Here are some of the information of changes. I'm going to show most of the changes, so you don't need to worry about that. So you just need to scroll it like this and you should be seeing all the information. So in order to download ISO file, you just need to click some of these files or just on the top side to get the ISO file. So it should take like a 5 seconds and you should be getting your ISO file downloaded. And here you can see the ISO file. The file is around like a 3.9 GB. So we got almost everything from the browser. So let's close the browser. Let's open the terminal. So we can type some commands to get the distro information. Let's scroll it like this, so everyone can see. About, here is the version. About Qt. So let me type in some of the commands like inxi. So I need to install the inxi first. So usually most of the cases the inxi will be pre-installed in most of the distros, but we need to install sometimes. So it's going to take like a maybe maximum of 20 seconds, or else it will be less. So instead of waiting, let's see what are the applications we get pre-installed. So under the accessories, you get all the text editors, file manager, and all those things. Under education, you get 3 applications. Electronics, it's a Pulse View. And the graphics, you get the LX image, ham radio. So here are some of the applications. In the internet, you get a lot of applications. Office, you get the LibreOffice and others. There are a lot of things here. So programming, sound and video. So it's pretty much pre-installed. You get a lot of bloatware applications in this DragonOS. So it's not just a basic LXQT desktop environment. So usually LXQT desktop environment default applications will be way less, like maybe hardly it will be like a 20 applications. So this has a lot of pre-installed applications, and you can call it as bloatware applications. So you get a lot of applications here. You just need to go to the official website to get the information of whatever it's in the DragonOS. So I think it's going to take still more seconds. Usually it should be very quick, but I don't know why it's taking a lot of time here. So it's still on the 45%. So I'm going to minimize. Let's see. I think it's pretty much over, I guess. So it's completed, I guess. So let me type in inxi. It's already typed in. Hit enter. So here we have the inxi. So let me open the new tab and let me show you so you can see properly. So let me type in inxi. So here is the CPU, kernel and storage, process, shell. So I'm just not going to read everything. You just need to pause the video and read everything. So let me type in another command, which is inxi-small b. So it didn't let me type in, so I'm going to type in again. inxi-small b. So here are graphics information and network information, drives, machine, system, all those things. So distro Ubuntu 22.04.4 LTS, Jammy Jellyfish. LXQT version is 0.17.1 and kernel is 6.5. So let's type in another command, which is inxi-F. Hit enter. So another command, inxi-G. cat:/etc/issue. Neofetch. inxi-sv8. So you pretty much got all the distro information right in front of you. So you just need to pause the video and read everything on your own. So let's see HStop. So even HStop is pre-installed. Just the INXI wasn't installed. So you need to install the INXI if you want to test it. So let me close the browser. I don't know, for some reason let's see the memory. It's almost 727 MB. And CPU, here it is, the CPU. And uptime is almost 13 minutes. Let me open the installer. So let's open the installer. So I think I need to click on double tap, execute. So I wasn't paying attention there. I was seeing the desktop. So something is happening here. So I think it should be my mouse error or something like that. So here we have the installer, which is LXQTs. So first you have to choose your language here. So again, this is the same basic installation thing. There is nothing complicated or anything in the installation. So click on continue. So it is taking a bit of time there. Keyboard layout. Choose your keyboard and language. You can detect your keyboard layout or you can type it here. Click on continue. So the installation is taking a bit of time there. So you need to wait for the installation to continue. So here we have the updates and other software. Install third-party software for graphics. So you can check this button or uncheck these boxes. It's clearly up to you. Click on continue. So it's going to take like a 30 to 40 seconds to prepare the Ubuntu drivers. So if you like this distro, you can just try it in the live boot, or you can just install it in the virtual machine if you want to properly test it. But if you ask me whether to use this on main PC or work PC, I don't really recommend this Linux distro. For the testing purpose, it's good, but we don't have any clear information about the ISO file or the website. So you just get the ISO files from the SourceForge. Anyone can upload files in the SourceForge. So be careful if you want to try to test it. It's clearly up to you. So if you try the live boot, it's okay, and if you try it in the virtual machine, it's clearly safe. You can even delete the virtual disk and create a new virtual disk. So don't try to install it on the hard disk or a main work PC. So that's the reason I'm saying. So everything is working properly. There was no issues or no anything, nothing lag or anything like that. So some errors were found, like some pop-up screens, like I don't really know how to explain that. So other than that, everything was working fine, and it's still working fine. It's almost 16 minutes, as you can see uptime in the right side corner here. So everything is working fine. So it is the installation is taking a bit of time. So usually it shouldn't take that much of time, but it's consuming a lot of time here. So here we have, so it took almost 30 to 40 seconds, I guess. So you need to wait for the next step. So it's still not loading properly. So the memory is almost 900 MB, and here we have the installation type. So if you don't know how to install the Linux distro on the virtual disk or a main disk, or maybe if you don't know how to install those things in virtual machines and all those things, you need to watch some other tutorials like a 5 to 6 videos of different channels how to install the Linux distros, and then go with the installation in the virtual disk. So I made a lot of videos, so it's probably in some video I really don't understand, or I can't even point out in which Linux distro I installed it on virtual disk or a main disk, because I made like a 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to find or point out the exact Linux distro where I installed on the hard disk or a virtual disk. So that's the reason it's better to watch like a 5 to 6 videos, which in a specific videos they will show the installation, and the videos will be shorter than mine. So it's better to watch like a 5 to 6 videos if you want to install the Linux distros. So if you are already a pro user in a Linux, so you don't need to even watch this step, you can just skip this part. So I'm not going to install because I need to make another video, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily, so that's the reason. So erase disk in a short form is like erasing your current operating system, or whatever it's available in that hard disk will be erased, hard disk, virtual disk, whatever it is. So it's like a single boot. It's going to delete the current operating systems or files in that thing, and it's going to install the DragonOS. So something else is like a dual boot options. So you need to create a partition first, and then you need to install in that partition. So you should be getting 2 operating system. One should be DragonOS and your own operating system, which is already installed. So that's the installation process. If you click on install now, it's going to take like maybe 20-25 minutes, more or less, depends on the PC and depends on the ISO file. If it's stable ISO file, it should be very quick, and if it's a development or a beta version, it should be having some bugs. Sometimes it should be getting errors, or maybe sometimes installation should be failed. So it should be depending on the ISO file whether it's a stable or a beta version. So that was the installation. So let's close this thing and let's check out some of the desktop features. So again, it switched to desktop 1. So let's choose the desktop 1. So let's change the desktop preference. Let's see what wallpapers we get hit here. So let's browse. So here are some of the basic wallpapers. The one is like a motherboard, and others are from the Lubuntu. So nothing in here. General, slideshow, advanced, nothing new. Let's open the live. So here is the file manager. Let's check about Pacman. Version is there. Applications. Here are all the applications. You can directly open from here, or you can choose from the application menu. So I'm going to do a stress test. So if you don't know what is stress test in my channel, it's like a commonly you should open like a 15 to 20 applications, whether this distro will handle that stress. Like it's basically like a day-to-day task, whether it will handle those applications at once. I'm going to open all the applications at once and see whether we get any errors or crashes or anything like that. So we need to open like a bit of resource consuming apps, or else like a 20 to 30, 15 to 20 applications should be good. So I'm going to open those applications, and if we find any lag or maybe any crashes or any not responding signs and all those things, it's clearly you can judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. So it's not the only thing you should judge. You need to judge whether the ISO file is stable, and throughout the video the Linux distro had any lag or any crashes, anything like that. You need to consider a lot of things and then decide whether to use those Linux distro or not. So I'm going to open random applications which are available right in front of me. So these are some applications. Let me open some random applications. Don't know anything about this type of Linux applications because it's a new application or a new Linux distro. So in the internet we have Let me open the Firefox because some of the browsers some applications consume a bit of resources. So let's try to open. So under Office, we need to open the LibreOffice. Let's even open the QPDF view. So we need to have like maybe applications like Krita, Blender, GIMP, Audacity, like this type of applications which consumes a bit of resources. So we can get the exact test results. So in this case, there is nothing heavy resource consuming applications. They are just the basic applications which comes from the LXQT, and some applications are from the DragonOS. So we'll try to do that stress test by opening most of the applications. So as you can see in the taskbar, there are already a lot of applications opened. So let's find something here. Let me open some Fluid, New Radio, and in sound and video, let's open the VLC. So as you can see, there is nothing bit of resource consuming applications here, just the basic and less resource consuming applications. So I'm going to try like that and see. So let's even open the Discover. So everything is working fine. There is no lag or anything like that. As you can see, everything is in front of you. So let's check the task manager. Let's see how much of resources it's consuming. So memory, it is like a 1645 MB, and cache 4151 MB, and buffer is 5 MB. As you can see, CPU is almost 28.5%, system 71.5. So these are all the system resources, and these are all the process running right now. So these are all the process. So let's try to switch the applications to see whether we find any lag or anything like that. So as you can see, everything is opening instantly. So there is no a single % of lag or anything like that. I can switch the applications instantly. From last and from the first, you can change anything. So everything is instant. So it's pretty much stable. There is no issue using, or you can test it. You don't find any lag or anything like that. So if you want to try to test it, and do let me know in the comment section. If you are a normal user who is searching for the best Linux distro for main PC or work PC, I don't really think this is a Linux distro you need to install it on your main PC or work PC. So if you're a normal user, you just need to try to find some other Linux distros which are stable and which has like a LTS releases ISO files. You need to go with that type of Linux distro. And people who want to test it need to have at least maybe 4 GB of RAM, and you need to have at least 7th gen 8th gen CPU, and it should be like a i3 maybe. I don't think it will run on the dual core Pentium. Even its LXQT desktop environment, there are a lot of applications. So if you just want to have like a lightweight Linux distro, it has already pre-installed applications, so you need to go with other Linux distros. You can go with the Lubuntu if you want. So if you don't like Lubuntu, you can go with a lot of lightweight Linux distros. So there are already a lot of videos in my channel. If you want to check that out, you can check it out, or else you can watch other channels videos. I don't have any problem with that. So let's try to see the about applications and end the video, because we pretty much covered everything in this video. So about screen grab, here is the version. So Firefox web browser I already showed the version. LXQT already shown. Here are some of the text editors. The LibreOffice, you get the version here. Let me close the LibreOffice. And Pulse View. Here is the Pulse View. Let me close that. About. So as you can see, there is no errors or anything like that. Not even a single lag. There was slightly some hiccups here and there. Other than that, there is no heavy lag or any crashes or anything like that. So it's pretty much working fine. So you can test it on the virtual machines, or you can go with the live boot. So here are some of the information. Let's go back about simple screen recorder. Here is the version. About text editor, here is the version. If you get a lot of applications pre-installed, it's clearly up to you to test it or not. So there is a lot of information in the SourceForge website. While downloading the ISO file, just read everything before trying this Linux distro to get every information in their SourceForge links or SourceForge website. Here is the settings installed. So here you can customize, you can download, you can do remove all those things. So about QPDF view, about fluid. So we pretty much covered everything. So I'm going to close it. So it's almost 27 minutes or 28 minutes of the video. So I some basic features and all those things, it took like a 28 minutes to make a video. So plus 5 minutes in the booting and some installation, all those things, it's almost like a 30 minutes video. So at the end of the video, these are all the resources running right now after closing. So compare it from the beginning and end, you should be getting an answer whether to use this Linux distro or not. So my final thoughts are everything is working fine. There is no issues or anything like that. You need to get all the information from the website to get proper information about this distro. I showed you how to download. I showed you everything in their browser or the SourceForge link. So we pretty much covered everything, I guess. If I forget anything, do let me know in the comment section. So it is like a Lubuntu LXQT desktop environment. If you don't want this all the applications, let me show you that. So programming, some of the applications added by the DragonOS. So these are all the applications. So if you don't want anything of this, you just need to go with Lubuntu LXQT. You should be getting the same thing. And you can install the specific applications which you needed. You can be installed in that thing. So instead of going this type of Linux distros, you can go with the Lubuntu. It has nothing in the bloatware applications. You can install the content creation applications which you really need. You can go with that Linux distro. But if you're a distro hopper, if you're a tester, you can just check this Linux distro. If you're a normal user, I don't really recommend this thing. So you can test it. But if you want to install this on main PC or work PC, I don't really recommend this. Other than that, it's clearly up to you to whether you to use or not. So there are a lot of misspellings or misspeakings. So try to ignore those things because it's common. Because when I don't trim the video, there should be a lot of misspeakings. So I want to keep video raw as possible to show proper things, like whatever it happens, I want to show everything properly. So that's the reason. Let's see the logout screen and end the video. So there should be a video available when you're watching this video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. So here is the Lubuntu desktop, open box, languages, and the logout screen. So I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.